OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to this week's Friday Night Smackdown review. You are here with Just G on Saturday morning. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday so far. But yeah, let's get straight on into this review. We are here a day ahead of Bad Blood. So this is the final show before the Bad Blood pay-per-view on Saturday, which starts at 11 PM UK time, I believe, because it's 6 PM ET. So yeah, there is that is happening today, which we are super excited for. If you want to see our predictions, we made a podcast video a Thursday just gone. You can go back and watch our predictions for the Bad Blood pay-per-view, which we had special guest Johnny Goldsmith from the Snapbacks and Beards podcast. He joined us to give us his predictions as well, so yeah, go check that out. But yeah, let's get straight on into this SmackDown review. So we are greeted with the musician Hardy in the ring, and he announces the welcome back AJ Styles, and he invites AJ Styles down to the ring. So AJ Styles comes down to the ring and he starts talking about how over the past few months he's done a few things he's not proud of, like a few things that he regrets, a few things that people are like not happy with, you know, and he really regrets these things he's done. And then he goes on to say that he's not here to talk about the past, he's actually here to talk about the legacy of AJ Styles. And he goes on to say that this is still the house that AJ Styles built. And as he goes on to say that, we are hit with Carmelo Hayes' music, and Carmelo Hayes makes his way down to the ring. And then he goes on to say, AJ, after everything you've done, I'm not surprised that there's not a big line of people welcoming you back. He's like, I love old timers like you. I love people like you. You know, you really inspire me. And then he goes on to talk about LA Knight and that he deserves a shot against LA Knight for the United States Championship. So LA Knight, AJ Styles then goes on to say like, hey Carmelo, let me give you a bit of advice as someone who has fought LA Knight. You know, LA Knight is relentless in the ring. He doesn't stop. He is powerhouse. But as he's talking, Carmelo cuts him off and says that he doesn't need advice from quitters. You know, I don't take advice from quitters. And AJ says, like, if you were him, if you were Carmelo Hayes, you were him, you would be US champ right now. And then Carmelo comes back at AJ and he's like, but if you were the phenomenal one, like you say, you would be WWE champion by now. And they kind of go at it. And then AJ's like, so how about then me and you right now in this ring? He literally offers Carmelo out for a match right now. And Carmelo is like, nah, I'm good, and goes to walk off. As he goes to put his leg through the ropes, LA Knight's music hits, and LA Knight makes his way out to the ramp, and he stops at the top of the ramp, and LA says, he starts talking a little bit, and then he goes on to say, Carmelo, you've basically got two choices. Either I come down there and punch the living daylights out of you, or you fight AJ Styles, and I may talk to Nick Aldis about you having a chance at this United States Championship if you beat AJ Styles tonight. So basically, Carmelo's got two options. LA Knight goes down and beats him up now, or he fights AJ Styles tonight with the chance to then fight LA Knight for the United States Championship. So LA Knight then goes on, let's get a ref out here and let's get this match started. So we get the ref down in the ring and we start this match between LA Knight, between Carmelo Hayes and AJ Styles, sorry, not LA Knight. LA Knight is sat ringside over by the commentary table. So AJ Styles is in control from the beginning. He's hitting chops to Carmelo. He's throwing him in the corner of the ring. Chop to Carmelo, chop to Carmelo. Carmelo very quickly turns this around and takes control. He goes for back-to-back covers on AJ Styles, but AJ Styles managed to kick out of both. Carmelo Hayes is still in control of the match at this point. He holds AJ in a leg lock after we've seen some kind of like injury possible from AJ Styles. He kind of falls on his leg, and during the commercial picture-in-picture you see like an official checking on his leg and that. And so Carmelo is obviously at this point then going in on the leg, and he's focusing on the leg because he thinks that there's something wrong with it, and it's a weak point for AJ at this point. So he holds AJ in a leg lock. AJ eventually manages to counter and then comes to kick Carmelo in the face and gets back up. AJ goes for a backbreaker to Carmelo Hayes. As he goes to pull him down into the backbreaker, his leg completely gives way. Carmelo hits his head off AJ's knee instead, and AJ just falls. He rolls over into the corner of the ring, and he's got the ref checking on him. AJ's like, I can't do this. His leg is in so much pain, he basically can't even get up. The ref calls it. The ref calls it there. He's like, call the bout, that's it. AJ is like out, he can't fight anymore. So I'm not sure why they have done this or where they're going with this. But the ring announcer goes, AJ gets up and goes to, like, he stumbles off out of the arena. He falls down over on the ramp. The ring announcer then goes to announce that AJ is unable to fight anymore and that Carmelo Hayes is the winner. As she starts to say Carmelo's name, though, LA Knight very, very quickly jumps in ring and hits a BFT to Carmelo Hayes, and then just holds up his championship belt. It was pretty cool. I'm not sure what kind of angle they're going here with. Did AJ do this on purpose so that Carmelo could get his chance at LA Knight? Is AJ genuinely injured? Is it kayfabe? I'm not really sure where they're going with this, so put your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you think of AJ in this match, where you think they're going to go with this. Okay, so we moved on to our next match for this evening, which is a women's dumpster match. So the rules for this match are, to win this match, we have a giant trash can at the end of the ramp, and to win this match, you have to throw your opponent in the trash can and close the lid to win. I thought it was pretty hard. It is between Chelsea Green and Meechin, so they both make their way down to the ring. Meechin comes after Chelsea, and she's carrying a dustbin with kendo sticks in down to the ring with her. Meechin always comes prepared. She's always got the goods to go. Meechin gets in ring with 2 kendo sticks. She hands one to Chelsea Green, and she's like, let's go. Let's go. So the bell rings and Chelsea goes to hit Meechin with the kendo stick but misses, and Meechin then goes in on Chelsea with her kendo stick. She then drop kicks Chelsea out of the ring, and she drop kicks Chelsea out of the ring, and you can just see that Meechin has all the control over this match right now. She then follows up with a suicide dive straight through onto Chelsea, onto the floor by the announcer table. Chelsea then moves out the way, and we can see Meechin pulling some stuff from under the ring. She pulls out a table, a steel chair, a metal tray, a couple of dustbins, and she throws them up. She throws them all up into the ring. Chelsea goes to do a dive through to Meechin, but as she does, Meechin picks up the metal tray and smacks it off Chelsea's head, so Chelsea doesn't even get anywhere near her. We are then back up in the ring. Chelsea has managed to gain control back. She's throwing Meechin face first into the dumpster as they fell out of the ring. Boom, 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 into the dumpster. And then we get back up and we see a lot of back and forth between them. We see Meechin do a DDT and a German suplex to Chelsea. But then Chelsea manages to get Meechin in the dumpster. She jumps out to start to close the lid, but as she manages to start to close the lid of this dumpster, you just see Meechin's hands just come up, and she stands up and she stops Chelsea from winning the match. Back up in the ring, Chelsea goes for an unpretty her to Meechin, but Meechin counters with an eat the feet, which places with a meet the feet, which places Chelsea, and then she places a bin over Chelsea's head. Sorry, I just can't get my words out today. This is me every podcast, every like episode, I can't get my words out. So she does the eat the feet. It's such a mouthful to get out. Eat the feet to Chelsea. She places a bin over Chelsea's head, trying to give back a bit of what maybe she felt when Nia did this to her a few weeks ago. She jumps up to mid-rope and jumps on top of the bin on top of Chelsea. So Chelsea's in the bin and has just been absolutely squashed by Meechin. Meechin then goes and sets up the table over the dumpster. So she's like putting this long table over the bin. As she's doing this, Piper appears out of nowhere, so it's a no DQ, anything can happen. So Piper then starts attacking Meechin. She hits her with a running senton. She then attempts to do a cannonball into her onto the dumpster, but Meechin rolls out the way and Piper hits her head first off the dumpster, so she's out for the count now. She's useless, no help. as we do this, we are back up on the ringside over the dumpster. So we've got the dumpster with the table on, Chelsea and Meechin standing on the ringside, literally in front of it. Chelsea's going for a few punches to Meechin. Meechin actually manages to get Chelsea up onto her. She powerbombs Chelsea straight through that table into the dumpster. She so quickly jumps down, starts to close that lid. Boom, the lid is down. Meechin wins this match. I was so shocked about this because I genuinely thought Chelsea was going to win. I was really confused by that. But I'm happy for Meechin to finally grab a win on something. It was a pretty cool match. I really liked the idea of the match. Obviously, we're coming off like the coffin matches and things like that, where you get them in the coffin, close the lid, dumpster match, get them in the dumpster, close the lid. I love those kinds of matches. It adds a little bit extra to the match, if that makes sense. But it was a good match and I really enjoyed it. And both girls put on a really great show. Moving on, we have Bayley. She comes down to the ring. Now, we know Bayley has a women's championship title opportunity today at Bad Blood against Nia Jax, which is obviously the rematch for when Nia beat Bayley back at SummerSlam. So, Bayley calls out Nia. She wants to tell her something. So she's like, come on Nia, down to the ring, get your queen butt down here, etc, etc. Nia and her bestie Tiffany make their way down to the ring, and Bayley goes on to say, Nia, you've never understood the importance of that title that you're carrying. You've never understood what that title means to people like me, because we watched people like, and then she goes to list off like Molly Holly, Trish Stratus, Lita, and all these past people that have held the title. But then she goes on to say, those people may have had great runs, but you have something they don't have, which is a dominant run. And she goes on to say how dominant Nia is, and how dominant her run is, and how dominant she is in WWE. And then she goes on to say that, but there is two people in your way, two people that will stop you, two people that will take that championship out from you. And she's like, the first being me, when I beat you at Bad Blood tomorrow night. And then she says, if not me, then your bestie Tiffany with that case. And she's like, not because she's good or anything, but just because she has that case, she will beat you. And then Tiffany Stratton pipes up and she's like, are you saying I don't have what it takes to beat Nia just because I have a briefcase? She's like, I could beat Nia without this case. I don't need this case to beat Nia. I could take that championship from Nia if I wanted to. And then Nia kind of like butts up and she's like, whoa, Tiff. And then Tiffany's all like, I mean, I'm sorry, no, I would never do that. And then she's like, Bayley, you need to get down and you need to acknowledge Nia as your queen right now. Get down and bow to both of us. And then Tiffany is like trying to get Bayley to bow down to like obviously the queen, Nia. But Bayley then goes on to say she would rather bow to just a queen than her little scummy side piece, which is obviously Tiffany Stratton at this point. And she's like absolutely refuses to do it. Tiffany then goes to hit Bayley with the briefcase. Bayley, however, manages to dodge it, and Tiffany goes flying into the corner of the ring. However, Bayley then turns her back on Nia, and Nia comes straight in and attacks Bayley. Nia then goes to run and jump off the ropes onto Bayley. Bayley, however, rolls out the way, so Nia falls straight on her butt. And then Bayley grabs Tiffany's briefcase and she starts hitting Nia with the briefcase, showing that she's in control, she's got this, and she knows what she's doing. After she's like completely obliterated Nia with the briefcase, she wanders off as Tiff tries to jump her, but she manages to roll out the way and she starts walking back up the ramp. Tiffany's in ring, Nia's out on the floor. Tiffany grabs her briefcase and a ref appears. Ref just appears in the corner of the ring out of nowhere, and I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Tiffany's got a briefcase in her hand. She's looking at Nia as Nia's like struggling to get up and grab her bout. And she's staring at this briefcase, looking like she's about to cash in. Nia's like walking to the corner looking really confused, and she climbs out of the ring, and Tiff's still looking at this briefcase and looking over at Nia. And I'm just like, is she gonna do this? Because how cool would it be, I was saying this to Ross, if they completely swapped up a match in this kind of situation. Like, we've had a build-up for Bayley and Nia But Tiff cashed in the night before, and the match is now Tiff versus Bayley. I think that would be a really, really cool change. It would have been a cool change. But anyway, Naomi's music cues, and we know we have a match for Naomi versus Tiffany. So Naomi makes her way down to the ring. Nia has walked off at this point. She is nowhere to be seen. So we have our match of Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. So from the beginning, both girls in ring. Naomi has control. She has multiple head punches, a couple of running clotheslines to Tiffany. She's showing Tiffany that she's got this. She knows what she's doing. She's in control. Not giving Tiffany much chance to do anything. She goes for a face breaker into a cover, but Tiffany manages to kick out pretty quickly. Naomi hits a suplex to Tiffany. She goes for cover again, but Tiffany manages to kick out pretty quickly again. Tiffany then up on the side of the ropes, she pulls Naomi's face down onto the ropes. She bounces back. Naomi then goes for a knees off the rope onto Naomi. She goes for cover, but Naomi kicks out. Naomi then goes in for a backpack stunner. This was so cool to see. Like, it was really cool to see. A backpack stunner to Tiff, then goes for a sliding slap to Tiff. She literally slides across the ring and just slaps Tiffany Stratton straight across the face. It was pretty cool. She goes for a cover, but Tiffany kicks out. So a bit further on, after we've had a bit of back and forth from both the girls, Naomi goes for a face buster to Tiffany, but Tiffany counters, gaining control over the match. She goes for a cover, but Naomi kicks. Naomi on the side of the ropes now. So Naomi's sat up on the ropes with Tiffany in front. She goes for a big head to the face on Tiffany. So Tiffany obviously at this point then falls out of the way. She jumps up, she crossbodies Tiffany, but Tiffany literally rolls out with Naomi in this crossbody, rolls it over. She's picking up Naomi then, standing up, but Naomi manages to fall out and off of Tiffany. Naomi goes for a split moonsault, but Tiffany rolls out the way. At this point, Naomi's out on the floor, so Tiffany's like, she sees her moment, she's ready to go. She jumps up, she goes for the prettiest moonsault ever, but Naomi also rolls out the way, so Tiffany just lands and rolls out. Tiffany then manages to take down Naomi. She literally pounds her to the ground. She goes for a cover. Naomi rolls Tiffany's cover and gets the win. 1, 2, 3. What? I don't understand why Naomi won. Like, I'm so happy for her, but I genuinely thought, like, Tiffany would have won this match. Like, what the heck? Of course, I'm super duper duper happy for Naomi to win this match, but I genuinely thought Tiffany being in the position she's in right now, so dominant, so on top with Nia, I thought she might have won this match. But yeah, I was really confused when Naomi won. Of course, I'm super duper happy for Naomi to win, but I genuinely did think Tiffany Stratton was going to win at this point. So we then move on to our main event for this evening, which was a triple threat tag team ladder match between the Bloodline, our current tag team champions Tama Tonga and Tamaloa, versus the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, versus DIY, our previous tag champions Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. So of course, you guys know I always get so like lost in like the triple threat tag matches because there's always so much going on. There's so many people in the match, there's so much to focus on, and like you lose your way so quickly. Anyway, so we have all 6 people in ring staring up at those belts hung up in the sky. We see, so they're like stood in their teams around the ring, and we kind of see DIY switch round to the Street Profits, and all 4 of them go in on the Bloodline. So we have the Street Profits and DIY tag teaming up against the Bloodlines. I think like you could see their plan from the beginning was take out the Tama Tonga, take out Tongaloa, get rid of them, make sure they're not able to fight, because that way then one of us is going to win those tag belts, you know. So they throw the Bloodline out. Tama Tonga's out the ring. Tanga Loa's out the ring. They're gone. We see all four of them literally doing multiple different moves to the Tongans outside, getting rid of them, trying to keep them down. We then see DIY face off in ring then. We have the Street Profits on one side of a ladder, the DIY on another side of the ladder. So we've got two ladders in the middle of the ring. DIY are on one side, Street Profits are on the other side. They're climbing up those ladders, trying to get to those belts, like punching at each other. And then we see the Bloodline, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come out of nowhere. They jump up onto the ladders as well. So we've got all 6 men on the ladders at the moment, trying to get up to those belts. Yeah, I can't get my words out again. We then see DIY thrown off the ladders. They drag down the Street Profits off the ladders. So the Bloodline, they take DIY, they throw them off the ladders, like they push those ladders out the way. They both then, Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa both come and they drag down the Street Profits off the other ladder. And then they're using the ladders then to try and get where they need to be with these tag belts. But it's not successful. So they then start using the ladders to take out the other members of the other tag teams. We see the Bloodline use the ladders. Montez Ford bounces off the rope, jumps over the ladder, comes to go back at them, but they smack the ladder off Montez Ford then and he's out. Done. Down for the count. They then go for a ladder to Johnny Gargano's face. Johnny Gargano's out. He's done. They then hit Tommaso Ciampa with a ladder. He's gone. He's out. He's done. Angelo Dawkins is slammed into a ladder on the floor. He is out. He is done. The Bloodline at this point, they're doing what they can with those ladders, the materials they've got to take out the other tag teams and get themselves remaining tag belts champions. So the Bloodline are so in control of this match at this point. They've got the other 4 guys, the other 2 tag teams where they want them to be. But they just can't seem to get up to the belts how they want to. So we then see we are down by the ramp now at this point in the match, and we have got the Bloodline have got a ladder. They're holding a ladder. So we've got Tonga Loa one side, Tama Tonga the other side, and they're walking towards the ring with this ladder, and I'm like, this doesn't look good. We see Angelo Dawkins come out of nowhere. He flies over through the ropes onto that ladder, taking down the Bloodline, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. As Dawkins done this, he takes them down. We then see Johnny Gargano come flying through the ropes onto Angelo Dawkins. He takes down Angelo Dawkins. And then out of nowhere, we see Montez Ford come. He flies over the ropes and takes down everyone. Literally everyone. The Bloodline, Angelo Dawkins, DIY, they're all of them are out for the count on the floor, down by the ramp. So we are back up into the ring then, and we see Tama Tonga trying to climb a ladder. As he's trying to climb this ladder, we see DIY. They come in. We've got Tommaso Ciampa. He's holding Tama Tonga down. Johnny Gargano is stood next to him. They go for a shatter machine. They shatter machine Tama Tonga off of the ladder. And then we see Tanga Loa coming in. He's trying to mess with the ladder and stuff. The ladder gets closed and gets put on him. So he's literally holding, he's got the middle of a ladder over his head. So he's got a ladder on his shoulders. DIY look at each other. They run to the other sides of the ring and they're like, let's go. Let's go. They hit a meet me in the middle on Tama Loa while he's got this ladder on his, thinking about it just because you just see his head go like, it was horrible. So the Bloodline are out again. We are then seeing Angelo Dawkins and Tommaso Ciampa are going at it while Montez is trying to climb up the ladder. So we've got a ladder in the ring. Montez is coming up this side. We've got Tommaso Ciampa and Angelo Dawkins going at it on the other side. We see the Street Profits click and they're like, I know what to do now. Montez comes over this ladder. They hit a blockbuster over the top of the ladder to Tommaso Ciampa. It was phenomenal. I love the chemistry between the Street Profits, and I say this every time I talk about a match with the Street Profits. The chemistry between those guys is phenomenal, and they need to be tag champs again soon. Dawkins is climbing the rope. Tama Tonga throws him off. Tama Tonga with a chair. So we're outside the ring now. We've got a bit going on by the announce table. Tama Tonga grabs a chair. He's going for Angelo Dawkins. But before he can get to Dawkins, B-Fab grabs that chair. Yes, B-Fab is ringside, I forgot to say. B-Fab grabs that chair out of Tama Tonga's hands. And he's like, nah. She's like, nah, you're not going to hit one of my guys. Get away. Get away. We then see Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. They both turn around and they're like staring at B-Fab, like giving her a bit of a, you know, get out of here kind of thing. But they've turned their backs at this point on the other tag teams. And they end up both getting chairs to their backs from DIY, which was pretty cool. We then see Tama Tonga is on a table. He's being beat down and held down by DIY. So there's a table literally in front of the announce table. Tamalonga's on this table. We've got Johnny Gargano holding him one end. Tommaso Ciampa holding him one end. They're punching him. And then you see Johnny Gargano go like, go Montez, up top, up top. So Montez climbs up to the top rope and he hits a frog splash straight onto Tamaloa, lay on that table. And I'm like, DIY just took out Tongaloa and Montez Ford without realising. Montez was like, yeah, I'll do it. But Montez is literally out for the count now. Like, he's done. He's just frog splashed Tongaloa onto a table. He's definitely, like, how... We then see Tama Tonga thrown onto the announce table. And as he's done this... we then see, like, DIY turn on the Street Profits, like, so they've got Angelo Dawkins grabbing Tama Tonga and they throw him through the announce table, and then literally as Dawkins stands up, the DIY, they literally turn and kick Dawkins out the way. DIY then jump up into the ring and they start climbing a ladder. They're like, we've just took out the other two teams without them even knowing. Like, we used the Street Profits to take out the Bloodline. We're getting in this ring and we're getting these tag bouts now. So they jump up into the ring and they start climbing a ladder. Ciampa is one side, but we then see Montez Ford jump up into the ring pretty quick. We've got Ciampa one side, Montez Ford the other side. We then see Johnny come in and he's climbing behind Montez Ford. So picture this, we've got a ladder in the middle of the ring, and two ladders placed either side against the side of the ring. We've got Montez Ford and Ciampa. Is it Montez Ford and Ciampa one side? No, we've got Ciampa and Dawkins one side, Montez Ford and Johnny Gargano the other side. So two people trying to climb either side of the ring from each tag team. Ciampa's like, nah, we're not doing this. He literally gets Montez on his back. He slams them back into the ladder that was behind them, stood up against the ring. So Ciampa and Dawkins are out. We then see Tangaloa jump up into the ring, and he lifts the other side of the ladder where Ciampa's just fallen off with Dawkins, and throws Montez and Johnny into the ladder stood up on the other side of the ring. He puts that ladder down. He starts climbing that ladder. Tangaloa is climbing the ladder. The other four guys are out. We see Tama Tonga trying to slowly... He's holding his shoulder, climbing into the ring. Tangaloa gets all the way to the top of that ladder. Boom. Tag belts are off. Bloodline wins. Tangaloa and Tama Tonga are still the tag champions. They won. I genuinely at one point thought the Street Profits might actually win this. I've got like an undying love for the Street Profits and I really want them to be tag champs again soon. But I understand why the Bloodline won. It makes sense why the Bloodline won. I'm happy that the Bloodline won. So they have their tag belts. They climb out of the ring. We then see Solo and Jacob making their way down the ramp. Tama Tonga and Tangaloa are walking towards them with their tag belts. They all stand at the middle of the ramp, do their We Are The Ones. And that's where SmackDown ended this week. So, I know a lot of people are saying SmackDowns in the past few weeks have been a bit unbearable, but I actually really enjoyed it this week. I can't say that I struggled to watch it this week. I thought it was a good show. I really enjoyed it. Of course, we have Bad Blood later this evening. As I said, I believe it starts at 11 PM in the UK because it says 6 ET. So yeah, enjoy Bad Blood tonight. That was your SmackDown review, and we will catch you for the next one. But before you go, don't forget to like the video, comment something about SmackDown, or comment your predictions for Bad Blood. Give us a thumbs up, follow, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and come back to watch our podcast next week, which will be our Bad Blood aftermath and thoughts. So we'll be talking about everything that happened at Bad Blood and like the Raw after Bad Blood as well. So yeah, that was everything from me this week, and I will catch you for the next one. Bye!